Yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. The Detroit Pistons are learning to ride a bicycle. I want to explain this in this video. If you enjoy it, smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. I really do appreciate all the love and support. You know, I'm a father, and my daughter is 7, and today she rode her bike for the very first time. And I was ecstatic. I decided I was going to treat her and buy her some chips that she likes and have a wonderful time and a wonderful moment. I was so proud of her. And she was saying, hey, you know what? Maybe one day you can ride me on your bike, because I put her on the front handlebars, and it's fun for, kids, right? And I was like, well, one day we're going to ride our bikes together. And we'll be riding our bikes to the store and hanging out, riding together, and it'll be so much fun. And she was so excited. And honestly, I'm excited too. But I can remember all the times that I was trying to teach her and how long and strenuous and at times taxing it was to wait for her to figure it out, to get the confidence, to understand how to put her legs together and her footwork together and trust her balance and all these different things. This is so much of where the Detroit Pistons are at right now. They are learning to ride a bike. They are learning to be confident in their habits. They're learning to figure out how they're going to apply their game to be effective. They're figuring out what parts of their game even works at this level. Whether it's Duren trying to get healthy consistently, or whether it's Cade trying to figure out how to attack smaller guards and limit his turnovers and decision-making and not force the issue, even though he's trying to win. Whether it's Ivey figuring out that he's going to have to play defense and lower his turnovers eventually. Whether it's Ausar Thompson and realizing that, I'm a completely different player at this level than I've been my whole life. So how do I still do this offensive side of things and maximize my talent? And I can go through the roster, other guys, like I say, a Stewart, right? Figuring out how to be a stretch 4, and Marvin Bagley, still can't spell defense. And James Wiseman, well, who knows what he becomes one day down the line, but I'm still hopeful. And Marcus Sasser and Isaiah Livers, and then you got the veterans. And the reality is they are figuring things out. Monty Williams is in a horrible position, I think, from a competitive standpoint, because he realizes that in order to get to a championship, this team is going to have to ride a bicycle. And not only ride a bicycle, they're going to have to be able to ride a bicycle in the Tour de France. They're going to have to ride at a level that this team is nowhere near. They don't have the legs. They don't have the balance. They don't have the coordination. They don't have the muscle memory. They don't have the fine motor skill development to be able to pedal and change speeds and work the gears and be able to brake. They aren't even riding the bike yet. They aren't. Let's be clear. Riding the bike is at least understanding who you are as a player. And the star player, Cade, still hasn't figured that out yet. Are you a point guard? Are you a wing with facilitating skills? Are you more Tyrese Halliburton? Are you more Luka Doncic? Are you more DeMar DeRozan, where you really don't hit threes at a high enough level, so you're more of a mid-range guy? But you're still kind of struggling to finish at the rim at times, engage shot blockers, but maybe some of it is just coming back from an injury and getting your timing right and your feel, right? There's so much that this team has to figure out, and it's hard because I think a lot of the narratives coming into the season was that the Detroit Pistons were going to be competitive, and I completely understand that if these veterans were healthy. I don't think there's another circumstance where a very young team started off and all of their veterans were hurt, not just some of them. 100% all of them. Bojan Bogdanovic, Monty Morris, who we all expected to be starting, those two, from Joe Harris, Alec Burks, and everyone was hurt. I think Alec Burks wasn't hurt, but then got hurt. But all let's say is that no one expected this team to start off with having to play rookies 30 minutes a game. even though Ausar Thompson played extremely well, no one was expecting to have to depend upon guys who are still learning and no one there to show them the ropes on the court. And so now we are stuck with a product that is stumbling and fumbling, much like my daughter did. She didn't trust her body yet, and so she wobbles a lot, and she stares down instead of looking up. And she was, making sure Poppy was there to hold the bike the whole time. And this team is very much so dependent upon Monty Williams to kind of like instruct them. But the only problem is Monty Williams, I don't know how much of a teacher he is, or not so much a teacher, but I think he's not the Rick Carlisle play-by-play type of coach that this team is needing. I'm not saying that he's not the coach that they need. I'm saying that this extra added aspect of not having a Monty Morris and a Bojan Bogdanovic available to you then creates a need where this team needs a coach who can tell them what to do from play to play. Literally, especially in the second halves, which they have struggled mightily. When a team makes the adjustment, forces them away from what they're trying to do, they seem to get caught in the same space where they are highly ineffective and they are unsure of themselves and more turnover prone, and they fall behind even if they have a lead going into the second half. And so as we continue to watch this season, I will say this. Every kid figures it out. Pretty much every kid who keeps trying to learn to ride their bike learns to ride their bike. And when they do, you will be ecstatic, Detroit Pistons fans. You will be literally overjoyed. You'll be like, yo, look at Cade, look at Ivey, look at Bagley, look at Duren out there doing his thing. Ausar, we knew you'd be a star. Y'all are going to be so hyped. But it just may not be this season. It probably won't. You'll be lucky if they get these veterans back before the trade deadline and they begin to start looking like they're turning a corner. But then I'm not sure how many of these veterans are going to stick around past the trade deadline, so they might pretty much just be looking like this for the duration of the season. Keep in mind that this is a highly competitive season for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of parity, for one, and this is not a big-time draft, so nobody is necessarily trying to lose. It doesn't necessarily benefit any team to lose and get a high draft pick in a draft where maybe the best player is going to be maybe a potential starter, but not necessarily projected as an all-star, let alone all-time greater NBA, first-team all-NBA player or all-NBA player at all, right? And so when we start looking at what the season is going to be, just recognize as fans, your team is coming along. They're learning. They're figuring it out. Jaden Ivey, who knows? He might get some more opportunities to start. When Monty Morris comes back, we may have to rethink that. But, it looks like he may be out longer than we thought. Bojan Bogdanovic, is he going to take Killian Hayes' spot? Is he going to take Jaden Ivey's spot? Is he going to take Ausar Thompson, which I would highly recommend against? He's going to take Isaiah Stewart's spot. Who knows? Because I'd rather have Isaiah Stewart off the bench as the backup 5 than have to go at Marvin Bagley III as the backup center who has absolutely no defense. Despite his offense, many times he's still in negative or net negative because he's given up just as many points defensively, even though he's giving more effort. You see, there's so many questions. There's so many things we're still figuring out. We don't have our balance as a team. We don't have our balance as an organization. What we do know is that we're here to learn how to ride this bike. And if you stick with them, eventually you'll be able to celebrate with them. But as always, I want to know what you all think. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Get at me in the comment section, and I look forward to the discussion. I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.